The Power of Not Reacting, How to Control Your Emotions. By LDH. Introduction, Mastering the Art of Emotional Control. In a world that constantly demands our attention and forces us into rapid reactions, mastering the art of not reacting becomes a superpower. Every day, we are bombarded with stimuli that provoke emotional responses, from work stress, social interactions, and personal challenges to unexpected events that can trigger everything from anger to frustration, or even fear. The ability to pause, assess, and choose a measured response, rather than react impulsively, can drastically change not only how we live but how we experience life. Emotional control is not about suppressing how we feel, it's about mastering the art of responding in ways that align with our values and long-term goals, rather than being held hostage by fleeting emotions. While the natural human inclination is to react when something pushes us out of our comfort zone, the power lies in learning to control these impulses. This book is designed to guide you through that journey, equipping you with the knowledge, tools, and techniques needed to take charge of your emotional landscape. Our emotions are a vital part of who we are, but they can also cloud our judgment and disrupt our peace. Without emotional control, reactions to minor inconveniences can snowball into larger problems. However, when we learn to manage our emotions, we gain clarity, reduce stress, and increase our overall well-being. This is not to say that life becomes free of challenges, but rather, you become better equipped to handle those challenges with grace and confidence. At the heart of emotional control lies the ability to not react. This doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. It means learning how to stay grounded, even when your mind or body is telling you to react. By mastering this, you'll begin to see dramatic shifts in your relationships, career, and personal happiness. This skill allows you to respond in a way that fosters understanding, reduces conflict, and leads to better outcomes for all involved. Throughout the chapters of this book, you will explore what triggers emotional reactions, understand the psychology behind these responses, and learn the science of self-regulation. We will dive deep into the concepts of emotional intelligence and mindfulness, teaching you how to cultivate an inner calm that is impervious to the external chaos of the world. You will also learn practical strategies for staying calm under pressure, managing negative emotions, and using silence as a tool for emotional control. By the time you finish this book, you will have a toolkit of techniques and a new mindset that will empower you to break free from reactionary behavior and embrace a more measured, intentional way of living. It is important to note that controlling emotions is not about becoming emotionally detached or indifferent. It's about understanding the root of your emotions and using that understanding to make choices that align with your personal values. Learning how to not react impulsively is about taking charge of your life in a way that allows you to become more resilient, more patient, and more attuned to the world around you. Emotional control, at its core, is a form of self-mastery. Once you master your emotions, you are no longer at the mercy of external forces, and you become the architect of your reality. Every situation you encounter becomes an opportunity for growth rather than a trigger for emotional upheaval. You will learn how to use emotional control to navigate conflicts, build stronger relationships, and foster a deeper sense of inner peace. Whether you're someone who struggles with anger, anxiety, or frustration, or simply looking to gain more control over how you respond to life's many challenges, this book will offer insights and techniques to help you along your journey. It's time to break the cycle of automatic reactions and embrace the power of not reacting. Through emotional control, you can create a life of peace, purpose, and strength. Chapter 1: Understanding Emotional Triggers. Emotional triggers are powerful catalysts that evoke immediate reactions from us, often bypassing our rational mind and directly influencing our emotions. These triggers can vary greatly depending on personal experiences, memories, and sensitivities, but the common thread is that they provoke a strong emotional response. Whether it's a specific tone of voice, a situation reminiscent of past trauma, or a recurring challenge, emotional triggers have the potential to take control of how we react, often leading to impulsive behavior. In this chapter, we'll delve into the nature of emotional triggers, how they function, and what we can do to identify and manage them effectively. To understand emotional triggers, we must first recognize that they are often deeply rooted in our subconscious. These triggers are formed through past experiences, unresolved conflicts, or ingrained beliefs. For example, if someone grew up in a household where criticism was constant, they may be particularly sensitive to feedback, interpreting it as a personal attack even when no harm is intended. Similarly, individuals who have experienced betrayal may find it difficult to trust others, reacting defensively in situations that remind them of past hurt. Understanding the origin of our emotional triggers is the key to gaining control over them, as awareness allows us to challenge automatic responses and replace them with thoughtful actions. One important aspect of managing emotional triggers is self-awareness. This involves paying attention to what triggers you and the specific emotions that arise in response. Are you prone to anger when someone questions your decisions? Do you feel anxious in situations where you're not in control? Emotional triggers are highly personal, and recognizing your unique patterns of emotional reactivity is essential for managing them. By identifying the specific situations or interactions that provoke strong emotions, you can begin to build a mental map of your triggers and become more mindful of them in your daily life. The process of self-awareness also involves understanding the physical manifestations of emotional triggers. Often, before we even become consciously aware of a trigger, our bodies react. A racing heart, tight chest, or clenched fists can be physical signs that something has triggered an emotional response. Becoming attuned to these bodily signals can help you catch an emotional reaction in its early stages, giving you the opportunity to pause and choose how to respond rather than acting on impulse. The more in tune you are with your body's reactions, the more control you will have over your emotions. At its core, an emotional trigger is like an automatic alarm system. It signals danger, alerting you to a perceived threat. However, this system isn't always accurate. What feels like a threat to your emotional well-being may not be as harmful as it seems. For instance, receiving negative feedback at work might trigger a fear of failure, but that fear is often out of proportion with the actual situation. In these moments, it's critical to challenge the validity of the trigger. Is the threat real, or is it a projection of past experiences or fears? By questioning the source of the emotional trigger, you can begin to dismantle its power over your reactions. Once you have identified your emotional triggers, the next step is to learn how to manage them. This requires both practice and patience, as breaking the cycle of automatic reactions is a gradual process. One effective method is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing you to create space between a trigger and your reaction. Instead of immediately reacting, mindfulness encourages you to pause, breathe, and assess the situation. This gives you the chance to choose a response that aligns with your long-term values and goals, rather than being driven by short-term emotional impulses. Another powerful technique for managing emotional triggers is reframing your perspective. This involves shifting how you interpret a triggering situation. For example, if you feel criticized by a colleague's feedback, instead of seeing it as an attack on your abilities, try reframing it as an opportunity to grow. By altering your perception, you reduce the emotional charge of the trigger and open yourself up to more constructive responses. This mindset shift takes practice but can be transformative in helping you maintain emotional control in challenging situations. Emotional triggers can also be managed by setting healthy boundaries. Often, our triggers are exacerbated by situations where our personal boundaries are crossed. For instance, if you are sensitive to feeling overwhelmed, taking on too many responsibilities may trigger stress and frustration. Setting clear boundaries, both with yourself and others, can help reduce exposure to situations that trigger negative emotions. This might mean saying no more often, delegating tasks, or simply taking time to rest and recharge when needed. Boundaries are not about avoiding difficult situations but about creating a space where you can respond with clarity and composure. In conclusion, emotional triggers are an inevitable part of life, but they do not have to control you. By understanding the roots of your triggers, becoming more self-aware, and practicing techniques like mindfulness, reframing, and boundary setting, you can gain greater control over your emotional reactions. The goal is not to eliminate triggers but to learn how to respond to them in a way that empowers you rather than disempowers you. Through this process, you can begin to break the cycle of automatic reactivity and move toward a more intentional, balanced way of living. The first step in mastering emotional control is understanding your triggers. In the next chapter, we will explore the psychology behind reactions and how our brain processes emotions. By understanding these internal mechanisms, you'll be better equipped to manage and control your responses to external stimuli, further deepening your emotional resilience and self-mastery. Chapter 2: The Psychology Behind Reactions. Emotional reactions are deeply rooted in the complex workings of the human brain. To understand why we react the way we do, it's essential to explore the psychology behind these responses. Our reactions are often automatic, shaped by millions of years of evolution, as well as our personal experiences, beliefs, and mental conditioning. While emotions serve a vital role in protecting and guiding us, they can also lead us astray when we fail to understand the internal mechanisms that trigger them. At the heart of our emotional responses lies the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure in the brain that plays a critical role in processing emotions, particularly those associated with survival, such as fear and anger. The amygdala acts as an emotional alarm system, rapidly assessing situations and determining whether they pose a threat. When a threat is perceived, it triggers the body's fight-or-flight response, preparing us to either confront the danger or escape from it. This process occurs almost instantaneously, bypassing the rational part of the brain, known as the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logical thinking and decision-making. This automatic reaction, often referred to as the amygdala hijack, explains why we sometimes overreact to situations that, in hindsight, may not have been as threatening as they seemed. The amygdala is designed to prioritize speed over accuracy, making quick judgments based on limited information. While this is useful in life-threatening situations, it can be problematic in everyday life, where many of the perceived threats are not physical dangers but emotional challenges, such as a disagreement with a colleague or receiving critical feedback. These situations may trigger the same fight-or-flight response, leading to reactions such as defensiveness, anger, or withdrawal. The prefrontal cortex, on the other hand, is the part of the brain that allows us to regulate our emotions, think critically, and respond thoughtfully. It takes longer to process information than the amygdala, but it's essential for making measured and rational decisions. When the amygdala takes over, the prefrontal cortex is essentially shut down, making it difficult for us to think clearly or make wise decisions in the heat of the moment. This is why we often say or do things we regret when we're emotional. Our rational brain is not fully engaged. Understanding this dynamic between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex is key to mastering emotional control. The goal is not to eliminate emotional reactions, but to engage the prefrontal cortex more effectively in moments of emotional intensity. By learning to slow down our responses, we can give the rational part of our brain the time it needs to assess the situation and choose a more appropriate reaction. This process, known as emotional regulation, is at the core of emotional intelligence and is vital for maintaining healthy relationships, managing stress, and navigating life's challenges with grace. One way to engage the prefrontal cortex is through mindfulness practices. When we are mindful, we observe our thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. This creates a gap between the trigger and the reaction, allowing us to respond from a place of calm rather than impulsivity. For instance, if someone criticizes you, your immediate reaction might be to feel defensive or upset. However, if you practice mindfulness, you can pause, recognize the emotion rising within you, and choose to respond in a way that aligns with your long-term goals, rather than lashing out or withdrawing. In addition to the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, the limbic system, which includes several brain structures involved in emotion and memory, also plays a significant role in shaping our emotional reactions. The hippocampus, another key structure within the limbic system, is responsible for forming memories and connecting emotions with past experiences. This explains why certain situations trigger emotional responses based on previous events. For example, if you've experienced rejection in the past, even a minor form of disapproval might trigger an outsized emotional reaction because the hippocampus links the current experience with the memory of past pain. These emotional patterns, or emotional conditioning, are the result of repeated experiences that have created neural pathways in the brain. Over time, these pathways become stronger, making it easier for us to react in the same way to similar triggers. For example, if you've repeatedly felt anxious in social situations, your brain may become wired to trigger anxiety automatically whenever you encounter a social setting. This is why breaking old emotional patterns can be challenging. It requires creating new neural pathways through intentional practice and repetition. Fortunately, the brain is highly adaptable, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. This means that with conscious effort, we can rewire our brain to respond differently to emotional triggers. By repeatedly practicing new ways of thinking and reacting, we can weaken old emotional patterns and strengthen new, healthier responses. For instance, if you tend to react with frustration when things don't go your way, you can train yourself to pause, breathe, and approach the situation with curiosity rather than anger. Over time, this new response becomes more automatic as the neural pathways for frustration weaken and those for calm strengthen. Another important concept in the psychology of emotional reactions is cognitive appraisal. This refers to how we interpret and evaluate a situation, which in turn shapes our emotional response. Two people can experience the same event but have completely different reactions based on how they appraise the situation. For example, if you receive constructive criticism, you might interpret it as a personal attack and feel hurt, or you could see it as an opportunity for growth and feel motivated. Cognitive appraisal highlights the role of perception in emotional reactions, and it suggests that by changing how we interpret situations, we can change how we feel about them. In summary, the psychology behind reactions is deeply intertwined with the brain's emotional circuitry and our personal history. The interplay between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex explains why we sometimes react impulsively, while the limbic system and emotional conditioning account for why certain situations trigger strong emotional responses. However, through mindfulness, cognitive appraisal, and the brain's capacity for neuroplasticity, we can take control of our emotional responses, rewire our reactions, and create new, healthier emotional patterns. In the next chapter, we will explore the concept of emotional intelligence and self-awareness, which are essential skills for mastering emotional control and improving our relationships with ourselves and others. By building emotional intelligence, you will gain the tools needed to not only understand your emotions but to use them in a way that enhances your life and the lives of those around you. Chapter 3: Emotional Intelligence and Self-Awareness. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It is a critical skill that influences every aspect of our lives, from personal relationships to professional success. At its core, emotional intelligence is about being aware of our emotions and using that awareness to guide our thoughts and actions. This chapter delves into the components of emotional intelligence, the importance of self-awareness, and how these elements work together to enhance emotional control and overall well-being. One of the foundational elements of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Self-awareness involves being conscious of your emotions as they arise, understanding how they influence your behavior, and recognizing the impact they have on others. This level of awareness requires an ongoing, honest reflection of your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, and motivations. Without self-awareness, it's difficult to manage your emotions effectively because you may not even realize how they are influencing your actions. For example, if you're unaware that stress is making you irritable, you might unintentionally take out your frustrations on others, damaging relationships and creating unnecessary conflict. Self-awareness is not just about recognizing negative emotions, it also involves acknowledging positive emotions and understanding what brings you joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment. By identifying the activities, people, and environments that positively influence your mood, you can make more informed decisions that enhance your well-being. This knowledge empowers you to create a life that aligns with your values and aspirations, leading to greater happiness and fulfillment. Additionally, when you're aware of what triggers positive emotions, you can use that insight to manage stress and negative emotions more effectively. Another key component of emotional intelligence is self-regulation, which is the ability to manage your emotions and reactions, especially in challenging situations. Self-regulation doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, rather, it involves recognizing your feelings, pausing to process them, and choosing how to respond in a way that is aligned with your long-term goals and values. For instance, if you feel anger rising in a heated argument, self-regulation allows you to take a step back, calm down, and address the issue with a clear mind rather than reacting impulsively. This not only prevents the situation from escalating but also strengthens your relationships by fostering more constructive and respectful interactions. Self-awareness and self-regulation are closely linked. The more aware you are of your emotions, the better you can regulate them. This connection is crucial for building emotional resilience, which is the ability to bounce back from adversity and maintain emotional balance in the face of challenges. Emotional resilience doesn't mean you're immune to stress or hardship, it means you can navigate difficult emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Developing resilience requires practice, patience, and a commitment to self-awareness and self-regulation. Over time, these skills become second nature, enabling you to face life's ups and downs with greater equanimity and strength. Beyond self-awareness and self-regulation, emotional intelligence also involves empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Empathy is essential for building strong, meaningful relationships because it allows you to connect with others on a deeper emotional level. When you can empathize with someone, you're better able to support them, communicate effectively, and resolve conflicts in a way that considers their perspective. Empathy requires you to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to listen actively, and to be present in the moment. It's not just about understanding their words but also their emotions, body language, and unspoken cues. Empathy is often described as the heart of emotional intelligence because it fosters connection and understanding in all types of relationships, whether personal or professional. In the workplace, for example, empathy can lead to more effective teamwork, as team members who understand and respect each other's feelings are more likely to collaborate harmoniously and support each other's efforts. In personal relationships, empathy deepens trust and intimacy, as both partners feel seen, heard, and valued. Cultivating empathy involves not only recognizing others' emotions but also managing your own reactions to those emotions, ensuring that your responses are supportive rather than judgmental. Another aspect of emotional intelligence is social skills, which involve the ability to navigate social situations effectively, build and maintain relationships, and communicate clearly and persuasively. Social skills are often the outward manifestation of emotional intelligence. They reflect how well you can apply your self-awareness, self-regulation, and empathy in interactions with others. Strong social skills include active listening, clear communication, conflict resolution, and the ability to influence and inspire others. These skills are vital in both personal and professional settings, as they enable you to build networks, lead teams, and foster positive relationships. Developing emotional intelligence is an ongoing process that requires continuous self-reflection, learning, and growth. It's not something that can be mastered overnight, but with practice, you can enhance your emotional intelligence and reap the benefits in every area of your life. One practical way to develop emotional intelligence is through journaling. By writing down your thoughts and emotions, you can gain deeper insights into your emotional patterns and triggers. Journaling helps you track your emotional responses over time, identify recurring themes, and explore the underlying causes of your emotions. This self-reflective practice enhances self-awareness and provides a valuable tool for managing emotions. Mindfulness meditation is another powerful technique for building emotional intelligence. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment, which can help you become more aware of your emotions as they arise. Through mindfulness, you learn to observe your thoughts and feelings without being swept away by them, allowing you to respond to situations with greater clarity and intention. Regular mindfulness practice can improve self-awareness, reduce stress, and enhance your ability to regulate emotions, making it a cornerstone of emotional intelligence development. Feedback from others is also a valuable resource for enhancing emotional intelligence. By seeking feedback from trusted friends, colleagues, or mentors, you can gain an outside perspective on how your emotions and behaviors impact others. This feedback can provide insights into areas where you may need to improve your self-awareness, empathy, or social skills. It can also highlight your strengths, giving you confidence in your ability to manage your emotions and interact effectively with others. Being open to feedback and willing to make changes based on that feedback is a sign of high emotional intelligence and a commitment to personal growth. In conclusion, emotional intelligence and self-awareness are crucial components of emotional control and overall well-being. By developing these skills, you can better understand and manage your emotions, build stronger relationships, and navigate life's challenges with greater ease and confidence. Emotional intelligence is not a fixed trait but a skill that can be cultivated and refined over time. Through practices like journaling, mindfulness, and seeking feedback, you can enhance your emotional intelligence and create a more balanced, fulfilling life. In the next chapter, we will explore the science of self-regulation, diving deeper into the strategies and techniques that can help you maintain emotional balance and respond to life's challenges with poise and intention. By understanding the mechanisms of self-regulation, you'll be better equipped to handle stress, avoid impulsive reactions, and cultivate a calm, centered approach to life. Chapter 4: The Science of Self-Regulation. Self-regulation is the ability to control and manage your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in a way that aligns with your values, goals, and long-term well-being. It is one of the most important skills for navigating life's challenges, as it allows you to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. At its core, self-regulation involves self-discipline, emotional control, and the capacity to delay gratification in pursuit of larger goals. In this chapter, we'll explore the science behind self-regulation, the brain mechanisms involved, and practical strategies to strengthen this crucial skill. Self-regulation is largely governed by the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for higher-order thinking, decision-making, and emotional regulation. This region of the brain allows us to plan, focus our attention, and suppress impulses that may not be in our best interest. When functioning effectively, the prefrontal cortex helps us maintain control over our reactions, even in emotionally charged situations. However, self-regulation requires effort, and when we are fatigued, stressed, or overwhelmed, the prefrontal cortex can become less effective, making it harder to maintain emotional balance. A significant factor in self-regulation is the concept of willpower, often described as the mental energy required to resist temptations, control impulses, and persist in the face of obstacles. Research suggests that willpower operates like a muscle. It can be depleted with excessive use, but it can also be strengthened with practice. This phenomenon is known as ego depletion, which refers to the idea that self-regulation requires mental energy, and when that energy is used up, our ability to exert self-control diminishes. For example, after a long day of making difficult decisions or resisting temptations, you may find it harder to maintain discipline, whether that means sticking to a diet or managing your temper. However, recent studies challenge the idea that willpower is purely finite, suggesting that mindset and beliefs about self-control play a crucial role. People who view willpower as something they can cultivate and renew tend to perform better at self-regulation than those who believe it's a limited resource. This suggests that while self-regulation can be exhausting, our beliefs about our capacity for control can influence how well we maintain it. By adopting a growth mindset, viewing self-regulation as a skill that can be developed, you can build your resilience and reduce the likelihood of ego depletion. Another key aspect of self-regulation is emotion regulation, which involves managing your emotional responses to stimuli in a way that is constructive and aligned with your goals. Emotion regulation can take many forms, including reappraisal, which involves changing how you interpret a situation to alter its emotional impact. For instance, if you find yourself feeling anxious about an upcoming presentation, you can reappraise the situation by focusing on the opportunity to grow and showcase your skills, rather than dwelling on the potential for failure. Reappraisal allows you to shift your emotional state from fear or anxiety to excitement and confidence, making it easier to perform well. Self-regulation also relies on cognitive control, the ability to focus attention, ignore distractions, and override automatic behaviors that may be counterproductive. Cognitive control is essential in everyday tasks, from staying focused during a long workday to avoiding distractions while working toward a long-term goal. Distraction, whether from technology, multitasking, or emotional stress, can significantly impair self-regulation. Therefore, cultivating the ability to focus is a critical component of self-regulation. Techniques such as time management and environmental control, organizing your surroundings to minimize distractions, can improve cognitive control and strengthen self-regulation over time. The practice of mindfulness is another powerful tool for enhancing self-regulation. Mindfulness, the practice of bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment, has been shown to improve emotional control and reduce impulsive reactions. By observing your thoughts and emotions as they arise, mindfulness allows you to create a space between the trigger and your reaction. This pause gives the prefrontal cortex time to engage and assess the situation, preventing automatic or emotional responses from taking over. Mindfulness not only enhances your ability to regulate emotions but also helps you manage stress, improve focus, and build resilience over time. Delayed gratification is another fundamental concept in the science of self-regulation. It refers to the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward in favor of a larger, more meaningful reward in the future. The famous marshmallow test, conducted in the 1960s by psychologist Walter Mischel, demonstrated the power of delayed gratification in predicting long-term success. In the experiment, children were given the choice to eat one marshmallow immediately or wait 15 minutes and receive 2 marshmallows. The study found that those who were able to wait tended to have better life outcomes, including higher academic achievement and better emotional well-being. Delayed gratification is a skill that can be developed through practice. One strategy for improving this ability is goal setting, breaking down long-term goals into smaller, achievable steps. This not only makes the goal more manageable but also provides a sense of progress, which can motivate you to stay on track. Additionally, using rewards and incentives can help you delay gratification by giving you something to look forward to along the way. For instance, if you're trying to save money, rewarding yourself with a small treat after reaching a savings milestone can reinforce your commitment to the larger goal. Another critical factor in self-regulation is stress management. Chronic stress can impair the functioning of the prefrontal cortex, making it more difficult to control emotions, stay focused, and resist impulsive behaviors. When stress levels are high, the brain tends to default to more automatic, emotional responses, as the amygdala takes over and the prefrontal cortex becomes less active. Therefore, managing stress through techniques such as deep breathing, exercise, and meditation is essential for maintaining self-regulation. By reducing stress, you enable the brain to function more effectively, improving your ability to make thoughtful decisions and control your impulses. Self-regulation also involves understanding and managing triggers, specific situations, people, or emotions that make it difficult to stay in control. By identifying your triggers, you can prepare for them and develop strategies to navigate them more effectively. For example, if you know that a particular type of criticism tends to provoke defensiveness, you can practice taking a deep breath and pausing before responding. Alternatively, if certain environments make you more prone to distraction, you can modify those environments to reduce their impact. Anticipating and planning for triggers is a proactive way to enhance self-regulation and maintain emotional balance. In conclusion, self-regulation is a multifaceted skill that involves managing emotions, impulses, and behaviors in a way that aligns with your long-term goals and values. It is rooted in the brain's prefrontal cortex, but it can be influenced by factors such as willpower, stress, and mindset. By understanding the science behind self-regulation, you can develop strategies to strengthen this vital skill and improve your ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity and intention. Techniques like mindfulness, reappraisal, and stress management are powerful tools for enhancing self-regulation, and by practicing these methods consistently, you can build resilience and achieve greater emotional control. In the next chapter, we will explore the role of habits in emotional control, examining how our daily routines and behaviors influence our emotional well-being and how we can develop habits that support self-regulation and emotional balance. Habits, once established, can make self-regulation more effortless, allowing us to conserve mental energy and stay focused on our long-term goals. Chapter 5: Developing a Mindful Approach to Emotions. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept away by emotions without fully understanding them. Developing a mindful approach to emotions involves cultivating awareness of your feelings as they arise, observing them without judgment, and responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment and gaining insight into the nature of your emotional experiences. It's not about suppressing or avoiding emotions but rather learning to sit with them, understand them, and allow them to pass without being overwhelmed. This chapter will explore how mindfulness can transform your relationship with emotions and help you develop greater emotional control. At its core, mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment with curiosity and openness. This means acknowledging your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations without trying to change or judge them. By bringing this non-judgmental awareness to your emotions, you create space between the emotion and your reaction, allowing you to respond more skillfully. For example, instead of reacting to anger with an outburst, mindfulness gives you the opportunity to notice the feeling, understand its triggers, and choose how to respond in a way that aligns with your values. One of the key benefits of mindfulness is that it helps you develop emotional resilience. When emotions are intense, they can feel overwhelming, leading to impulsive actions that you might later regret. Mindfulness allows you to observe the rise and fall of emotions like waves in the ocean, recognizing that all emotions are temporary. This awareness creates a sense of calm, as you learn that even the most challenging emotions will pass in time. With practice, you develop the ability to ride the wave of emotion without being swept away by it. This strengthens your emotional resilience, allowing you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. Mindfulness also helps you become more aware of the physical sensations that accompany emotions. Every emotion you experience is tied to a physical sensation in the body, whether it's the tightness in your chest during anxiety, the heat of anger, or the lightness of joy. By tuning into these physical sensations, you can gain valuable insights into your emotional state. For example, if you notice tension in your shoulders or rapid breathing, it might signal that you're feeling stressed or anxious before your mind has fully registered the emotion. This awareness can help you address the emotion before it escalates, allowing you to practice self-regulation and prevent negative reactions. Mindful breathing is one of the most accessible tools for regulating emotions in the moment. When you're caught in a strong emotion, your body often responds with shallow, rapid breathing, which can intensify the feeling. By focusing on your breath and taking slow, deep breaths, you can activate the body's relaxation response, signaling to your brain that it's safe to calm down. This simple practice helps shift your attention away from the intensity of the emotion and back to the present moment, allowing you to regain control. Whether you're feeling anger, fear, or sadness, mindful breathing offers a grounding technique to manage emotions more effectively. Another essential aspect of developing a mindful approach to emotions is non-attachment. Often, we become attached to our emotions, especially when they are linked to our identity or experiences. For instance, you might hold on to anger because it feels justified or dwell on sadness because it's tied to a past hurt. However, this attachment can keep you stuck in emotional cycles that are difficult to break. Mindfulness teaches you to observe emotions without identifying with them, understanding that emotions are fleeting states, not permanent parts of who you are. By letting go of attachment to emotions, you free yourself from their grip and can move through them more easily. Mindfulness also enhances self-compassion, which is crucial for emotional well-being. Often, when we experience difficult emotions like guilt, shame, or sadness, we tend to be harsh on ourselves, criticizing our feelings or blaming ourselves for having them. This self-criticism only amplifies negative emotions, creating a vicious cycle. A mindful approach, however, encourages you to treat yourself with kindness and compassion, just as you would a friend going through a tough time. By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive inner environment where it's safe to feel emotions without judgment. This fosters emotional healing and helps you develop a healthier relationship with your feelings. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily life can also help you recognize emotional triggers more easily. Triggers are external events or internal thoughts that activate intense emotional reactions. By staying mindful throughout the day, you become more attuned to the moments when your emotions begin to shift, allowing you to identify triggers before they lead to negative reactions. For example, if a particular person or situation consistently causes frustration, mindfulness helps you catch that emotional response early on. Once you're aware of your triggers, you can prepare for them and respond more thoughtfully, rather than letting the emotion control your actions. One of the most transformative aspects of mindfulness is that it helps you cultivate a neutral observer perspective toward your emotions. Instead of being immersed in the emotion, you learn to step back and observe it from a distance. This perspective shift allows you to see the emotion as just one part of your experience, rather than letting it define you. For instance, instead of saying, "I am angry," you might reframe it as, "I am feeling anger right now." This subtle shift in language reinforces the idea that emotions are temporary states that don't have to dominate your identity or your actions. Mindfulness also encourages a sense of curiosity about your emotions. Instead of reacting to an emotion with judgment or resistance, mindfulness invites you to explore the emotion with curiosity. What does the emotion feel like in your body? What thoughts or memories are associated with it? What triggered the emotion, and how does it change over time? By asking these questions, you deepen your understanding of your emotional patterns and gain insight into the root causes of your feelings. This self-inquiry can lead to greater emotional clarity, helping you make more informed decisions about how to respond to your emotions. Incorporating mindfulness into your emotional life doesn't require long meditation sessions or drastic lifestyle changes. It can be as simple as taking a few moments throughout the day to check in with yourself. Pausing to notice how you're feeling, observing your thoughts without judgment, and practicing mindful breathing are all small but powerful ways to bring mindfulness into your everyday experiences. Over time, these practices become second nature, allowing you to approach your emotions with greater calm, clarity, and control. In conclusion, developing a mindful approach to emotions is a transformative practice that can enhance your emotional intelligence, resilience, and overall well-being. By bringing non-judgmental awareness to your emotional experiences, you create space for more thoughtful and intentional responses. Mindfulness helps you recognize the impermanence of emotions, manage emotional triggers, and cultivate self-compassion, all of which contribute to greater emotional balance. As you continue to practice mindfulness, you'll find that emotions no longer control your actions, and you'll have the tools to navigate life's challenges with a clear and centered mind. In the next chapter, we'll explore the role of habits in shaping emotional control and how you can create daily routines that support emotional well-being. Habits play a powerful role in shaping our emotional lives, and by understanding how they work, you can develop habits that enhance emotional regulation and lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. Chapter 6: How to Stay Calm Under Pressure. Staying calm under pressure is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop in both personal and professional settings. Life often presents us with stressful situations, whether it's a tight deadline at work, a personal conflict, or an unexpected crisis. The ability to maintain composure and think clearly in such moments can make all the difference in how effectively you handle these challenges. In this chapter, we'll explore strategies for staying calm under pressure, focusing on mental, emotional, and physical techniques that can help you navigate stressful situations with grace and control. At the heart of staying calm under pressure is the ability to manage stress responses. When faced with a stressful situation, the body activates its fight-or-flight response, which prepares you to either confront or escape the perceived threat. This response triggers a series of physiological changes, including an increase in heart rate, rapid breathing, and the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. While this response is useful in life-threatening situations, it can hinder your ability to think clearly and make rational decisions in less extreme circumstances. Learning how to manage and control your stress response is key to staying calm under pressure. One of the most effective ways to manage stress in the moment is through controlled breathing. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, which sends signals to your brain that you're in danger, amplifying your stress levels. By consciously slowing down your breath, you can activate your body's parasympathetic nervous system, which helps calm the fight-or-flight response. A simple technique known as deep belly breathing can be incredibly effective. To practice this, take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, allowing your abdomen to expand as you fill your lungs. Hold the breath for a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this for a few cycles to reduce stress and regain your composure. Another key to staying calm under pressure is developing a mental shift in how you perceive stressful situations. Often, the way we interpret a situation determines how much stress it causes. If you view a challenge as overwhelming or insurmountable, your stress levels will naturally rise. On the other hand, if you frame the situation as an opportunity for growth or a manageable problem, your mind will remain calmer. This concept is known as cognitive reframing. It involves challenging negative thought patterns and replacing them with more balanced, constructive ones. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'm never going to get this done," you could reframe the thought as, "This is challenging, but I've handled similar situations before, and I'll get through this." Visualization is another powerful mental technique for staying calm under pressure. By mentally rehearsing a situation before it happens, you can prepare yourself for the stress it might bring. Professional athletes, public speakers, and high-performing individuals often use visualization to enhance their performance. By imagining yourself handling a stressful situation calmly and successfully, you prime your brain to respond in that way when the moment arrives. Visualization helps build confidence and reduces anxiety by allowing you to practice your response in a safe, controlled environment. When the actual situation occurs, your mind is already conditioned to remain calm and focused. In high-pressure moments, it's also important to stay grounded in the present. Mindfulness can help you remain calm by keeping your attention on what is happening right now, rather than letting your mind spiral into worries about the future or past. Stress often arises from anticipating negative outcomes or dwelling on past mistakes. Mindfulness brings you back to the present moment, allowing you to focus on the task at hand without being distracted by what-ifs. In a stressful situation, try to bring your awareness to the here and now. What are you feeling in your body? What are the immediate steps you need to take? This shift in focus helps prevent anxiety from taking over and allows you to respond more effectively. Building emotional resilience is also crucial for staying calm under pressure. Emotional resilience refers to your ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and remain steady in the face of adversity. One way to strengthen emotional resilience is by practicing self-compassion. When you're under pressure, it's easy to be harsh on yourself, especially if things aren't going as planned. However, self-criticism only adds to your stress, making it harder to stay calm. Instead, practice speaking to yourself with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge that it's okay to feel stressed and remind yourself that you're doing the best you can in a difficult situation. This compassionate approach reduces inner tension and helps you maintain emotional equilibrium. Preparation is another vital factor in staying calm under pressure. Often, the fear of the unknown or feeling unprepared amplifies stress. By preparing as much as possible for a high-pressure situation, you reduce uncertainty and increase your confidence. For example, if you have an important presentation, practicing your speech, anticipating possible questions, and organizing your materials ahead of time can alleviate some of the anxiety. Preparation doesn't eliminate stress entirely, but it gives you a sense of control, making it easier to stay calm when the pressure is on. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Physical exercise is another tool that can help you stay calm under pressure. Regular physical activity reduces stress hormones, such as cortisol, and increases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce anxiety. Exercise also enhances your body's ability to handle stress by improving cardiovascular health, which in turn supports a more regulated response to stressful situations. Activities like yoga and meditation can be particularly helpful, as they combine physical movement with mindfulness practices that promote relaxation and mental clarity. Incorporating regular exercise into your routine builds a foundation of physical and mental resilience that helps you stay calm in high-pressure situations. It's also important to manage your environment in stressful moments. Often, external factors like noise, clutter, or distractions can increase stress and make it harder to stay calm. Creating a calm environment, whether it's a quiet workspace or taking a short break in a peaceful setting, can make a significant difference. If you're in a situation where you can't control the environment, like during a public presentation or meeting, focus on what you can control. This might mean organizing your thoughts, having a clear plan, or even taking a brief pause to center yourself before moving forward. A crucial aspect of staying calm under pressure is learning how to prioritize effectively. When faced with multiple demands or a looming deadline, it's easy to become overwhelmed by trying to do everything at once. Instead, focus on what is most important and tackle one thing at a time. By breaking down a complex situation into smaller, manageable tasks, you reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed and make it easier to stay focused. Prioritizing helps you maintain a sense of control, which is essential for staying calm. It also allows you to make clearer decisions under pressure by concentrating on the most critical aspects of the situation. Finally, building a strong support network can significantly improve your ability to stay calm under pressure. Having people to turn to for advice, encouragement, or even just a listening ear can reduce feelings of isolation and stress. Whether it's a mentor at work, a trusted friend, or a family member, having a support system provides emotional reassurance and practical solutions when you're facing a challenging situation. Don't hesitate to seek help or delegate tasks when necessary. Sometimes staying calm means knowing when to rely on others. In conclusion, staying calm under pressure is not about eliminating stress entirely but learning how to manage it effectively. By mastering techniques such as controlled breathing, cognitive reframing, mindfulness, and visualization, you can build your capacity to remain composed in high-pressure situations. Preparation, self-compassion, and a supportive environment also play key roles in reducing stress and maintaining emotional control. With practice, staying calm under pressure becomes a skill that not only helps you navigate difficult situations but also enhances your overall well-being. In the next chapter, we'll explore the importance of emotional boundaries and how setting healthy limits can help you manage stress, protect your energy, and maintain emotional balance in your interactions with others. Emotional boundaries are key to preventing burnout and ensuring that you stay in control of your emotional responses, even in challenging situations. Chapter 7: Managing Negative Emotions Effectively. Negative emotions are an unavoidable part of life, whether they manifest as anger, frustration, sadness, or fear. While it's impossible to eliminate negative emotions entirely, learning to manage them effectively is essential for maintaining emotional well-being and fostering healthier relationships. When left unchecked, negative emotions can lead to impulsive reactions, poor decision-making, and strained interactions with others. This chapter will explore practical strategies for understanding, processing, and managing negative emotions in a way that promotes emotional balance and self-control. The first step in managing negative emotions is to acknowledge and accept them. Many people fall into the trap of trying to suppress or ignore their negative feelings, hoping that they will simply go away. However, suppressing emotions often backfires, leading to emotional outbursts or even physical symptoms like headaches or fatigue. Instead of pushing emotions away, it's important to recognize them as natural and valid responses to certain situations. Accepting your emotions doesn't mean you have to like them or let them control you, it simply means allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment. One powerful way to manage negative emotions is through self-reflection. When you experience a negative emotion, take a moment to pause and reflect on what might be causing it. Often, emotions are triggered by underlying thoughts, beliefs, or past experiences. For example, anger might stem from a sense of injustice, while sadness could be linked to a feeling of loss. By digging deeper into the root causes of your emotions, you gain a better understanding of why you feel the way you do. This self-awareness not only helps you process emotions more effectively but also allows you to address the underlying issues that may be contributing to them. Naming your emotions can also be a helpful tool in managing them. When you're caught in the grip of a negative emotion, it can feel overwhelming and all-consuming. By simply labeling the emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, disappointment, or anxiety, you create a sense of distance between yourself and the feeling. This practice, often referred to as affect labeling, activates the rational part of your brain and reduces the intensity of the emotion. Instead of saying, "I am angry," you might say, "I am feeling anger right now." This subtle shift in language reinforces the idea that emotions are temporary and don't define you. Another important aspect of managing negative emotions is challenging negative thought patterns. Negative emotions are often fueled by distorted thinking, such as catastrophizing, black and white thinking, or personalizing events that aren't really about you. For example, if you receive critical feedback at work, you might immediately think, "I'm terrible at my job," which can lead to feelings of worthlessness or anxiety. By examining these thoughts and asking yourself whether they are truly accurate, you can begin to reframe your thinking in a more balanced and constructive way. Cognitive reframing helps reduce the emotional charge associated with negative thoughts and allows you to respond to situations more rationally. Physical movement can also play a significant role in managing negative emotions. Emotions are closely tied to the body, and negative feelings often manifest as physical tension, restlessness, or discomfort. Engaging in physical activities like walking, stretching, or deep breathing can help release this built-up tension and create a sense of relief. Exercise, in particular, has been shown to boost mood by increasing the production of endorphins, the body's natural, feel-good chemicals. Whether it's a quick walk around the block or a more vigorous workout, physical movement provides an outlet for negative emotions and helps shift your focus away from the stressor. In addition to physical movement, emotional release is another important way to manage negative emotions. Sometimes, emotions build up to the point where they need to be expressed in order to be processed. This could take the form of crying, talking to a trusted friend, journaling, or even engaging in creative activities like painting or writing. These outlets provide a safe space for releasing pent-up emotions and allow you to express what you're feeling in a healthy and constructive way. Emotional release is not about wallowing in negativity but about acknowledging your emotions and giving yourself permission to let them go. Self-compassion is another critical element in managing negative emotions effectively. When faced with difficult emotions, it's easy to fall into a pattern of self-criticism, blaming yourself for feeling a certain way or for not being able to handle things better. However, this only amplifies negative emotions and makes them harder to manage. Practicing self-compassion means treating yourself with kindness and understanding, even when you're experiencing unpleasant emotions. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling angry, anxious, or sad, remind yourself that these emotions are a normal part of being human. By offering yourself compassion, you create an inner environment of support, which helps you process emotions more calmly and constructively. Setting boundaries is also essential for managing negative emotions, especially when those emotions are triggered by external factors such as people, situations, or environments. Sometimes, negative emotions arise because you're overextending yourself or allowing others to infringe on your emotional space. By setting clear boundaries, you protect yourself from unnecessary stress and create room for emotional recovery. For example, if certain people or situations consistently trigger frustration or anxiety, it may be necessary to limit your exposure to them or establish firmer boundaries about what behavior is acceptable. Boundaries give you control over your emotional environment and help prevent the buildup of negative emotions. Another valuable strategy for managing negative emotions is practicing gratitude. It may seem counterintuitive to focus on gratitude when you're feeling angry, sad, or frustrated, but research shows that gratitude has a powerful impact on emotional well-being. Taking time to reflect on the positive aspects of your life, even in the midst of a difficult situation, can help shift your perspective and reduce the intensity of negative emotions. This doesn't mean ignoring or denying your feelings, but rather balancing them with an awareness of the good things in your life. Gratitude helps reframe your emotional experience and fosters a more positive and resilient mindset. Mindfulness is another tool that can be incredibly helpful in managing negative emotions. Mindfulness involves staying present in the moment and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When a negative emotion arises, mindfulness allows you to acknowledge it without immediately reacting to it. This practice creates space between the emotion and your response, giving you time to choose how you want to react rather than being driven by impulse. Mindfulness also helps you stay grounded in the present, preventing your mind from dwelling on past hurts or future worries that can intensify negative emotions. Finally, it's important to recognize that managing negative emotions is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. There will always be challenges and setbacks that trigger negative feelings, but by consistently applying these strategies, you can develop greater emotional resilience and control. Over time, you'll find that negative emotions no longer dominate your life, and you'll have the tools to navigate them with greater ease and understanding. In conclusion, managing negative emotions effectively requires a combination of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and healthy outlets for expression. By acknowledging and accepting your emotions, challenging negative thought patterns, engaging in physical movement, practicing self-compassion, and setting boundaries, you can create a more balanced and controlled emotional life. These strategies help you process negative emotions without letting them overwhelm you, ultimately leading to greater emotional well-being and inner peace. In the next chapter, we'll explore the concept of emotional boundaries in more detail and discuss how setting clear emotional limits can protect your mental health, improve relationships, and enhance emotional control. Emotional boundaries are a key component of maintaining balance in your interactions with others and preventing emotional burnout. Chapter 8: The Power of Silence in Emotional Control. Silence is often overlooked as a powerful tool in emotional control. In a world that values constant communication and quick reactions, silence can feel uncomfortable or even like a sign of weakness. However, knowing when and how to use silence effectively is one of the most powerful strategies for managing emotions, diffusing conflict, and maintaining inner balance. In this chapter, we'll explore the role of silence in emotional regulation, its psychological and physiological effects, and how incorporating silence into your responses can transform the way you handle difficult situations. Silence creates space for reflection. When emotions are running high, whether in the middle of an argument, during a stressful event, or while processing personal feelings, it's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment. Immediate reactions, especially when driven by strong emotions, are often impulsive and can lead to regrettable words or actions. By practicing silence, you give yourself a moment to pause, step back, and reflect on the situation before responding. This moment of stillness allows you to evaluate your emotions, think about the potential consequences of your reaction, and choose a more thoughtful and controlled response. Silence acts as a buffer between the emotional trigger and your reaction, enabling you to regain composure and clarity. Another benefit of silence is that it helps you develop a greater awareness of your emotional state. When you refrain from speaking or reacting immediately, you have the opportunity to tune into your feelings. Are you feeling angry, frustrated, or hurt? What is the source of these emotions? Often, people react without fully understanding what they're feeling, which can result in responses that are disproportionate or misdirected. Silence allows you to check in with yourself and become more aware of the emotions bubbling beneath the surface. This awareness is key to emotional regulation because it gives you the information you need to manage your emotions effectively. Silence also has a calming effect on the body and mind. When you're in a high-stress situation or feeling overwhelmed by emotions, silence allows your nervous system to settle. Engaging in silence can help reduce the body's stress response by lowering your heart rate, slowing your breathing, and calming the mind. In contrast, speaking impulsively or reacting immediately often keeps you in a heightened state of emotional arousal, which can prolong stress and anxiety. The simple act of choosing not to respond right away allows your body to shift out of the fight-or-flight mode and into a more relaxed, balanced state. This makes it easier to approach the situation with a calm and composed mindset. From a social perspective, silence can be a powerful tool in conflict resolution. When emotions escalate in a conversation or argument, people tend to interrupt, defend themselves, or escalate the conflict further. Silence, however, can diffuse tension. By choosing to remain silent rather than engaging in the back and forth of an argument, you create space for the conversation to cool down. It signals that you are not reacting impulsively, and it often encourages the other person to reflect on their own words or actions. Silence can serve as a form of nonverbal communication that conveys calmness, thoughtfulness, and emotional control. In some cases, it can even encourage others to take responsibility for their behavior. In addition to diffusing conflict, silence allows you to listen more effectively. When we are emotionally charged, we often listen not to understand but to respond. We are more focused on formulating our next point or defending ourselves rather than truly hearing what the other person is saying. Silence helps shift this dynamic by giving you the time and space to listen without the pressure to immediately respond. Active listening, combined with silence, enables you to absorb the other person's perspective fully, understand their emotions, and respond in a way that is more empathetic and constructive. Listening without speaking also shows respect and can foster deeper, more meaningful communication. Practicing silence is not just about refraining from verbal responses, it's also about quieting your internal dialogue. Negative emotions are often fueled by an internal monologue filled with self-criticism, worry, or anger. This mental chatter can amplify your emotions, making it harder to stay calm and rational. By consciously choosing silence, you can also quiet this inner dialogue, creating mental space to process your emotions more objectively. Meditation and mindfulness practices often emphasize the power of silence as a way to quiet the mind and observe thoughts without judgment. By bringing moments of mental silence into your daily life, you can develop a more peaceful and centered emotional state. One of the most profound aspects of silence is that it encourages self-discipline. It takes restraint and self-awareness to remain silent, especially when emotions are strong and the urge to speak is overwhelming. Practicing silence builds emotional discipline by teaching you how to resist the impulse to react in the moment. Over time, this self-discipline translates into greater emotional control in all areas of life. When you know that you have the power to pause and choose silence, you gain confidence in your ability to manage your emotions, even in the most challenging situations. This emotional discipline not only benefits your personal well-being but also improves your relationships and interactions with others. It's important to recognize that silence doesn't mean passivity or avoidance. Silence, when used intentionally, is a tool for emotional mastery, not a way to avoid addressing issues. The key is to use silence strategically, as a momentary pause to gather your thoughts, regulate your emotions, and choose your response wisely. After this period of silence, you can engage with the situation or person from a place of calm and emotional clarity. In this way, silence becomes an active, empowering choice rather than a form of withdrawal or avoidance. Another way to use silence effectively is by practicing delayed responses. In today's fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to respond to messages, emails, or conversations immediately. However, not every situation requires an instant reaction. By giving yourself time to reflect before responding, especially in emotionally charged situations, you allow yourself to formulate a more thoughtful and measured response. This can prevent misunderstandings, reduce the likelihood of escalating conflicts, and ensure that your communication is aligned with your true intentions and feelings. Delaying your response is a form of controlled silence that promotes emotional intelligence and enhances the quality of your interactions. Incorporating silence into your emotional regulation toolkit also requires a shift in mindset. Cultural norms often equate silence with weakness or discomfort, particularly in social or professional settings. However, embracing silence as a strength allows you to break free from these societal pressures. Instead of viewing silence as a lack of action, see it as an intentional act of emotional control. This shift in perspective empowers you to use silence confidently and strategically, knowing that it is a tool for maintaining emotional balance and protecting your well-being. In conclusion, silence is a powerful and often underutilized tool in emotional control. By creating space for reflection, reducing stress, enhancing listening, and building emotional discipline, silence enables you to manage your emotions more effectively. Whether in moments of conflict, stress, or personal reflection, incorporating silence into your responses can transform the way you navigate difficult emotions and interactions. Far from being passive, silence is an active and intentional choice that allows you to stay grounded, calm, and in control of your emotional experience. In the next chapter, we will explore the role of emotional boundaries and how setting clear limits in your relationships can protect your mental health, improve communication, and enhance your overall emotional well-being. Emotional boundaries are essential for maintaining balance in interactions with others and ensuring that you remain in control of your emotions, even in challenging situations. Chapter 9: Breaking the Cycle of Reactionary Behavior. Reactionary behavior is a common challenge that many people face in their emotional lives. This type of behavior is characterized by impulsive responses to external stimuli, often driven by strong emotions such as anger, fear, or frustration. Breaking free from reactionary behavior is crucial for achieving emotional stability, fostering healthy relationships, and making more thoughtful decisions. In this chapter, we will delve into the mechanisms behind reactionary behavior, explore strategies to interrupt and transform these patterns, and provide practical tools to help you develop more intentional and controlled responses to life's challenges. Understanding reactionary behavior begins with recognizing its triggers. Reactionary behavior often stems from automatic responses to specific cues or situations that have historically elicited strong emotional reactions. These triggers can be external, such as a stressful event or a provocative comment, or internal, such as negative thought patterns or unresolved issues. Identifying your personal triggers is the first step in breaking the cycle of reactionary behavior. Reflect on past experiences where you reacted impulsively and consider what set those reactions in motion. By understanding what prompts your reactionary behavior, you can start to develop strategies to manage and control it. Self-awareness is a critical component in breaking the cycle of reactionary behavior. When you are more aware of your emotional responses and the underlying factors driving them, you are better equipped to interrupt automatic reactions. Journaling can be an effective tool for increasing self-awareness. By regularly writing down your experiences, thoughts, and feelings, you can identify patterns in your reactions and gain insights into what triggers them. This practice helps you become more mindful of your emotional state and provides a clearer understanding of how to manage your responses. Mindfulness plays a significant role in breaking the cycle of reactionary behavior. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment with acceptance and without judgment. When you are mindful, you become more attuned to your emotions and bodily sensations, which allows you to recognize when you are about to react impulsively. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you can develop the ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Techniques such as mindful breathing, body scans, and meditation can help you build this awareness and create a space between your emotional triggers and your reactions. Developing emotional regulation skills is another key strategy for breaking reactionary behavior. Emotional regulation involves managing your emotional responses in a healthy and constructive way. Techniques such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and cognitive restructuring can help you regulate your emotions and prevent impulsive reactions. For example, when you feel anger building up, taking a few deep breaths can help calm your nervous system and reduce the intensity of your emotional response. Similarly, challenging negative thought patterns and reframing them in a more balanced light can help you respond to situations more rationally. Another effective approach is pausing before reacting. When you feel the urge to respond impulsively, give yourself a moment to pause and reflect. This pause can be as short as a few seconds or as long as you need to gather your thoughts and emotions. During this time, ask yourself whether your reaction is proportionate to the situation and what the potential consequences of your response might be. This brief moment of reflection allows you to choose a more thoughtful and controlled response rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. Developing alternative coping strategies can also help break the cycle of reactionary behavior. When you find yourself in a situation that triggers a strong emotional response, having alternative coping mechanisms at your disposal can provide healthier ways to manage your feelings. For example, if you are prone to reacting with anger, consider practicing techniques such as physical exercise, creative expression, or engaging in a relaxing hobby. These activities provide constructive outlets for your emotions and help you avoid falling into reactionary patterns. Building resilience is another important factor in breaking reactionary behavior. Resilience refers to your ability to bounce back from adversity and adapt to challenges in a healthy way. By strengthening your emotional resilience, you become better equipped to handle stressful situations without resorting to impulsive reactions. Practices such as self-care, developing a positive mindset, and building supportive relationships contribute to greater resilience. When you cultivate resilience, you are less likely to be overwhelmed by emotional triggers and more capable of responding calmly and thoughtfully. Seeking professional support can also be beneficial in breaking reactionary behavior patterns. Therapists and counselors can provide valuable insights and techniques for managing emotions and developing healthier responses. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, for example, focuses on identifying and changing negative thought patterns and behaviors. Working with a mental health professional can help you explore the underlying causes of your reactionary behavior, develop effective coping strategies, and build emotional control. Creating a supportive environment is another essential aspect of breaking the cycle of reactionary behavior. Surround yourself with people who understand and support your efforts to manage your emotions. Positive and empathetic relationships can provide encouragement and feedback that help reinforce your commitment to breaking reactionary patterns. Additionally, creating a physically and emotionally supportive environment, such as a calm and organized space, can reduce stress and prevent triggers that lead to impulsive reactions. Setting realistic expectations for yourself is also crucial in managing reactionary behavior. It's important to recognize that breaking old patterns takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself and acknowledge that progress may be gradual. Setting small, achievable goals for managing your reactions can help you stay motivated and focused. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small, and use setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as reasons for self-criticism. In conclusion, breaking the cycle of reactionary behavior requires a combination of self-awareness, mindfulness, emotional regulation, and alternative coping strategies. By understanding your triggers, developing emotional resilience, and creating a supportive environment, you can transform impulsive reactions into thoughtful, controlled responses. Remember that breaking old patterns is a process, and it's important to be patient and persistent in your efforts. With practice and dedication, you can achieve greater emotional control and enhance your overall well-being. Chapter 10: Emotional Detachment for Mental Clarity. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood as a form of coldness or indifference. However, when practiced mindfully and purposefully, emotional detachment is a valuable tool for achieving mental clarity and maintaining emotional balance. It involves the ability to separate your emotions from your thoughts and actions, allowing you to approach situations with a clear and rational perspective. This chapter explores the concept of emotional detachment, its benefits, and practical strategies for incorporating it into your life to enhance mental clarity and well-being. Understanding emotional detachment begins with recognizing that it is not about shutting off your emotions or disconnecting from others. Instead, it is about developing the capacity to observe your emotions without letting them dominate your thoughts or actions. Emotional detachment allows you to respond to situations based on rational analysis rather than being overwhelmed by emotional reactions. It helps you create a healthy distance between yourself and your emotions, enabling you to make decisions and solve problems with greater clarity and objectivity. One of the primary benefits of emotional detachment is its ability to reduce stress and emotional reactivity. When you are deeply involved in your emotions, it can be challenging to see things clearly and make effective decisions. Emotional detachment provides a buffer between your emotional experiences and your reactions, allowing you to process situations more calmly. By stepping back and viewing your emotions from a distance, you can gain perspective and reduce the intensity of your stress responses. This can lead to better decision-making and a more balanced approach to life's challenges. Practicing mindfulness is a key strategy for achieving emotional detachment. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It allows you to observe your emotions and thoughts as they arise, without getting caught up in them. By incorporating mindfulness techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, and body awareness into your daily routine, you can develop a greater sense of detachment from your emotions. Mindfulness helps you create space between your emotional reactions and your responses, enhancing your ability to approach situations with clarity and calm. Cognitive restructuring is another effective technique for fostering emotional detachment. This cognitive behavioral strategy involves challenging and changing negative thought patterns that contribute to emotional distress. When you notice yourself becoming emotionally overwhelmed, take a step back and examine the thoughts driving your feelings. Ask yourself whether these thoughts are accurate or whether there is another perspective you could adopt. By reframing your thoughts in a more balanced and rational way, you can reduce the emotional intensity and achieve a clearer, more objective viewpoint. Setting emotional boundaries is also crucial for maintaining emotional detachment. Boundaries help you protect your emotional space and prevent others from unduly influencing your feelings. Establishing clear limits regarding what you are willing to accept from others and what you are not can help you maintain a sense of control over your emotional responses. Communicate your boundaries assertively and respectfully, and be mindful of how you allow others to affect your emotional state. Setting boundaries helps you preserve your mental clarity and reduces the likelihood of becoming emotionally entangled in situations that may lead to stress or confusion. Another important aspect of emotional detachment is developing self-awareness. Self-awareness involves recognizing your own emotional triggers and patterns of behavior. By understanding what causes you to become emotionally reactive, you can take proactive steps to manage these triggers and maintain detachment. Self-awareness allows you to identify situations where emotional detachment might be beneficial and to practice stepping back from your emotions before responding. Journaling, reflection, and feedback from others can all contribute to greater self-awareness and enhance your ability to achieve emotional detachment. Practicing self-compassion is also essential in the process of emotional detachment. While detachment involves creating distance from your emotions, it is important to do so with kindness and understanding towards yourself. Self-compassion means acknowledging your emotions without judgment and treating yourself with the same care and empathy that you would offer to a friend. By combining emotional detachment with self-compassion, you create a balanced approach that allows you to manage your emotions effectively while still maintaining a supportive and caring attitude towards yourself. Developing problem-solving skills can further support emotional detachment by providing you with practical tools for addressing challenges without becoming emotionally overwhelmed. Effective problem-solving involves breaking down issues into manageable parts, evaluating potential solutions, and taking deliberate actions. When you approach problems with a structured and analytical mindset, you are less likely to be swayed by emotional reactions and more likely to make clear and rational decisions. Problem-solving skills complement emotional detachment by providing a systematic approach to handling difficulties and maintaining mental clarity. Engaging in self-care practices also contributes to emotional detachment by ensuring that you maintain overall well-being and resilience. Self-care activities such as exercise, healthy eating, and relaxation techniques help you manage stress and maintain a balanced emotional state. When you prioritize self-care, you are better equipped to handle emotional challenges with detachment and clarity. Self-care supports your emotional and mental health, allowing you to approach situations from a place of strength and stability. Seeking professional support can be beneficial if you find it challenging to practice emotional detachment on your own. Therapists and counselors can provide guidance and strategies for developing emotional detachment and achieving mental clarity. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, mindfulness-based therapies, and other therapeutic approaches can help you learn to manage your emotions more effectively and enhance your ability to detach from them when necessary. Professional support can offer valuable tools and insights to complement your efforts and support your journey towards greater emotional balance. In conclusion, emotional detachment is a powerful tool for achieving mental clarity and emotional balance. By observing your emotions without letting them dominate your thoughts and actions, you can approach situations with greater objectivity and calm. Mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, setting boundaries, and developing self-awareness are key strategies for cultivating emotional detachment. Combining these practices with self-compassion, problem-solving skills, self-care, and professional support can help you manage your emotions effectively and enhance your overall well-being. Chapter 11: Building Resilience Through Non-Reaction. Building resilience through non-reaction involves developing the ability to maintain composure and stability in the face of adversity. This approach is grounded in the practice of choosing not to react impulsively to stressors or challenges, thereby fostering emotional strength and adaptability. Resilience is not just about bouncing back from difficulties but also about thriving despite them. By mastering non-reaction, you can cultivate a resilient mindset that allows you to handle life's ups and downs with greater ease and confidence. Understanding non-reaction begins with recognizing the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is often an automatic and emotional response to external stimuli, driven by immediate feelings and impulses. Non-reaction, on the other hand, involves a deliberate choice to pause and assess the situation before taking action. This pause allows you to respond more thoughtfully rather than being swept away by emotional currents. By practicing non-reaction, you create a space where you can observe your emotions without being controlled by them, thereby enhancing your ability to deal with challenges constructively. One of the primary benefits of non-reaction is its ability to reduce emotional reactivity. When you choose not to react immediately to stressors or provocations, you allow yourself time to process your emotions and assess the situation objectively. This reduction in emotional reactivity helps to prevent knee-jerk responses that can escalate conflicts or lead to poor decision-making. By managing your initial reactions, you can approach problems with a clearer mind and make more reasoned choices that contribute to your resilience. Developing mindfulness is crucial for building resilience through non-reaction. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This practice helps you become more aware of your internal experiences and recognize when you are about to react impulsively. By incorporating mindfulness techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, and body awareness into your daily routine, you can enhance your ability to maintain non-reaction in challenging situations. Mindfulness fosters a sense of calm and control, which is essential for building resilience. Cognitive restructuring is another valuable tool for non-reaction and resilience. This technique involves challenging and changing negative thought patterns that contribute to emotional reactivity. When faced with a stressful situation, examine your automatic thoughts and beliefs to determine if they are realistic or helpful. By reframing your thoughts in a more balanced and constructive manner, you can reduce the intensity of your emotional responses and approach the situation with a clearer perspective. Cognitive restructuring supports non-reaction by helping you manage your thoughts and emotions more effectively. Emotional regulation is also key to resilience through non-reaction. Emotional regulation involves managing and adjusting your emotional responses to maintain balance and stability. Techniques such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and self-soothing strategies can help you regulate your emotions and prevent them from overwhelming you. By practicing emotional regulation, you build the capacity to stay calm and composed in the face of adversity, which enhances your overall resilience and ability to handle stress. Building self-awareness is another important aspect of resilience through non-reaction. Self-awareness involves understanding your emotional triggers, patterns of behavior, and reactions. By increasing your awareness of these factors, you can identify when you are more likely to react impulsively and take proactive steps to manage your responses. Self-awareness allows you to recognize early signs of emotional distress and implement strategies to maintain non-reaction and composure. Developing problem-solving skills is also essential for resilience. When you approach challenges with a problem-solving mindset, you focus on finding practical solutions rather than becoming overwhelmed by emotions. Effective problem-solving involves breaking down issues into manageable parts, evaluating potential solutions, and taking deliberate actions. By applying problem-solving skills, you can address difficulties more constructively and maintain a sense of control, which contributes to your overall resilience. Fostering supportive relationships is another key element of resilience. Building a network of supportive friends, family, and colleagues provides emotional support and encouragement during challenging times. Supportive relationships offer a source of stability and perspective, helping you maintain non-reaction and resilience in the face of stressors. By surrounding yourself with positive and understanding individuals, you can reinforce your capacity to stay composed and navigate difficulties with greater ease. Engaging in self-care is also important for building resilience through non-reaction. Self-care practices such as regular exercise, healthy eating, and relaxation techniques help you maintain physical and emotional well-being. When you prioritize self-care, you build a strong foundation for resilience, allowing you to handle stress and adversity more effectively. Self-care supports your overall resilience by ensuring that you are in a healthy and balanced state to face challenges. Seeking professional support can also enhance your ability to build resilience through non-reaction. Therapists and counselors can provide guidance and strategies for managing emotions and developing resilience. Therapeutic approaches such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and mindfulness-based therapies can help you cultivate non-reaction skills and strengthen your emotional resilience. Professional support offers valuable tools and insights to complement your efforts and support your journey towards greater resilience. In conclusion, building resilience through non-reaction involves developing the ability to maintain composure and stability in the face of adversity. By practicing non-reaction, mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, emotional regulation, self-awareness, problem-solving, and self-care, you can enhance your resilience and handle challenges with greater ease. Supportive relationships and professional guidance further contribute to your ability to build resilience and maintain emotional balance. Embracing non-reaction as a core component of your resilience strategy empowers you to face life's challenges with confidence and clarity. Chapter 12: The Benefits of Emotional Stoicism in Daily Life. Emotional stoicism, rooted in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, emphasizes maintaining emotional resilience and rationality regardless of external circumstances. This approach advocates for a focus on what is within one's control and an acceptance of what is not, allowing individuals to navigate life with greater equanimity and composure. In this chapter, we will explore the benefits of emotional stoicism in daily life, examining how it can enhance mental clarity, foster resilience, and improve overall well-being. Understanding emotional stoicism begins with recognizing its core principles. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. By focusing on internal responses and attitudes, Stoicism encourages individuals to maintain a sense of calm and rationality even in the face of adversity. This philosophy helps individuals distinguish between what they can and cannot control, thereby reducing the emotional impact of external factors and promoting a balanced perspective on life. One of the primary benefits of emotional stoicism is its ability to enhance mental clarity. When individuals practice stoicism, they develop the capacity to remain composed and rational even in challenging situations. This emotional detachment allows for a clearer perspective on problems and decisions. By focusing on their responses rather than being overwhelmed by external circumstances, individuals can approach situations with greater objectivity and make more thoughtful choices. Mental clarity, fostered by emotional stoicism, enables individuals to address issues effectively without being clouded by intense emotions. Building resilience is another significant benefit of emotional stoicism. Resilience involves the ability to bounce back from difficulties and adapt to challenges. Stoicism supports resilience by encouraging individuals to accept what cannot be changed and to focus their efforts on what they can control. This mindset helps individuals navigate setbacks and adversity with a sense of stability and composure. By practicing emotional stoicism, individuals can develop a more resilient approach to life, enabling them to handle stress and challenges with greater ease and confidence. Reducing stress is also a key advantage of emotional stoicism. Stress often arises from attempts to control or influence external factors that are beyond our control. Stoicism teaches individuals to accept these uncontrollable aspects of life and to focus on their internal responses instead. This shift in focus can significantly reduce stress by minimizing the emotional turmoil associated with trying to change things that are beyond one's control. By embracing Stoic principles, individuals can cultivate a more relaxed and resilient approach to daily stressors. Improving emotional regulation is another benefit of emotional stoicism. Emotional regulation involves managing and modulating one's emotional responses to maintain balance and stability. Stoicism provides tools and techniques for emotional regulation by emphasizing the importance of rational thinking and acceptance. By practicing Stoic principles, individuals can develop greater control over their emotions and prevent them from overwhelming their thoughts and actions. This improved emotional regulation contributes to overall well-being and helps individuals maintain a steady and balanced emotional state. Enhancing relationships is also a benefit of emotional stoicism. Stoicism encourages individuals to approach relationships with understanding and acceptance of others' limitations and behaviors. By focusing on their own reactions and responses, individuals can foster healthier and more constructive interactions. Emotional stoicism promotes empathy and patience, reducing the likelihood of conflicts and misunderstandings. By applying Stoic principles in relationships, individuals can build stronger connections and maintain a sense of calm and perspective in their interactions with others. Increasing personal accountability is another advantage of emotional stoicism. Stoicism emphasizes taking responsibility for one's own thoughts, actions, and reactions. By focusing on personal accountability, individuals can develop a greater sense of control over their lives and a more proactive approach to problem solving. This sense of accountability fosters a mindset of empowerment and self-efficacy, enabling individuals to navigate challenges with confidence and take ownership of their responses and decisions. Promoting overall well-being is a fundamental benefit of emotional stoicism. The principles of stoicism encourage individuals to cultivate inner peace, resilience, and rationality, all of which contribute to a more balanced and fulfilling life. By adopting a stoic mindset, individuals can enhance their mental and emotional health, reduce stress, and improve their overall quality of life. Emotional stoicism supports well-being by fostering a sense of control and acceptance, enabling individuals to approach life's challenges with greater equanimity and satisfaction. Applying stoic practices in daily life involves several practical strategies. One approach is to engage in regular reflection and self-examination to assess one's responses and attitudes. Journaling and mindfulness can be helpful tools for this process, allowing individuals to explore their thoughts and emotions in a structured way. Additionally, setting aside time for meditation or contemplative practices can support the development of a stoic mindset. By incorporating these practices into daily routines, individuals can strengthen their ability to maintain emotional composure and rationality. Seeking guidance and support can also enhance the practice of emotional stoicism. Engaging with philosophical literature, participating in discussion groups, or working with a coach or therapist can provide valuable insights and support in applying Stoic principles. Learning from others who have successfully integrated Stoicism into their lives can offer inspiration and practical strategies for embracing this philosophy. Support from knowledgeable sources can help individuals deepen their understanding of Stoicism and apply its principles more effectively. In conclusion, emotional stoicism offers numerous benefits for daily life, including enhanced mental clarity, increased resilience, reduced stress, improved emotional regulation, and stronger relationships. By focusing on what is within their control and accepting what is not, individuals can cultivate a sense of calm and rationality that supports overall well-being. Incorporating Stoic practices into daily routines and seeking guidance and support can further enhance the practice of emotional stoicism and its positive impact on life. Chapter 13: Cultivating Patience and Emotional Distance. Cultivating patience and emotional distance is a crucial aspect of maintaining emotional balance and fostering a more thoughtful approach to life's challenges. Patience involves the ability to wait calmly and persistently without becoming frustrated or agitated, while emotional distance refers to the capacity to observe your emotions without letting them dominate your thoughts and actions. Together, these qualities contribute to better decision-making, reduced stress, and improved interpersonal relationships. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of cultivating patience and emotional distance, and provide practical strategies for integrating these qualities into your daily life. Understanding the role of patience is the first step in cultivating this valuable trait. Patience involves the ability to endure difficult situations, delays, or obstacles without becoming frustrated or giving up. It is essential for maintaining a sense of calm and composure when faced with challenges, and it enables you to approach situations with a measured and thoughtful perspective. Patience allows you to manage your expectations and responses, reducing the likelihood of impulsive actions and promoting more deliberate and constructive behavior. Developing emotional distance is equally important for managing your emotional responses and achieving greater objectivity. Emotional distance involves creating a mental space between yourself and your emotions, allowing you to observe them without being overwhelmed or controlled by them. This detachment helps you approach situations with a clearer perspective, enabling you to respond more thoughtfully and rationally. By cultivating emotional distance, you can better manage stress and maintain a sense of balance, even in emotionally charged situations. Practicing mindfulness is a key strategy for cultivating both patience and emotional distance. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment with acceptance and without judgment. It helps you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to observe them without reacting impulsively. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and body awareness can help you develop greater patience and emotional distance by enhancing your ability to stay present and centered. Regular mindfulness practice supports emotional regulation and fosters a calm and composed approach to life's challenges. Reframing your perspective is another effective technique for cultivating patience and emotional distance. Reframing involves changing your interpretation of a situation to see it from a different angle. When faced with a challenging or frustrating situation, consider how you can view it as an opportunity for growth or learning rather than a setback. This shift in perspective can help you approach difficulties with greater patience and reduce the emotional impact of the situation. By reframing your perspective, you create space for a more balanced and constructive response. Setting realistic expectations is also crucial for developing patience. Unrealistic expectations can lead to frustration and impatience when things do not go as planned. By setting achievable and realistic goals, you can reduce the likelihood of disappointment and maintain a more patient and persistent attitude. Break down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, and recognize that progress may be gradual. Setting realistic expectations helps you maintain patience and stay focused on long-term objectives without becoming overwhelmed by immediate challenges. Practicing self-compassion is another important aspect of cultivating patience and emotional distance. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially during difficult times. Instead of being critical or judgmental of yourself for experiencing strong emotions or facing challenges, practice self-compassion by acknowledging your feelings and offering yourself support and encouragement. Self-compassion helps you maintain emotional distance by fostering a more balanced and accepting attitude towards your experiences and responses. Developing problem-solving skills can also support patience and emotional distance. Effective problem-solving involves analyzing situations, generating potential solutions, and taking deliberate actions. By focusing on problem-solving, you shift your attention from emotional reactions to practical solutions, which helps you maintain patience and composure. When faced with a challenge, approach it with a structured problem-solving mindset, and use this approach to guide your responses and decisions. Engaging in relaxation techniques can further support the cultivation of patience and emotional distance. Relaxation techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing exercises, and guided imagery help calm the nervous system and reduce stress. By incorporating relaxation practices into your daily routine, you create a sense of calm and stability that enhances your ability to remain patient and emotionally distant. Regular relaxation helps you manage stress and maintain a balanced emotional state, contributing to greater patience and composure. Building supportive relationships is another key factor in cultivating patience and emotional distance. Surrounding yourself with understanding and empathetic individuals provides emotional support and perspective during challenging times. Supportive relationships offer a source of encouragement and feedback, helping you maintain patience and emotional balance. By nurturing positive and supportive connections, you reinforce your ability to manage your emotions and respond to situations with greater clarity and patience. Seeking professional support can also be beneficial in developing patience and emotional distance. Therapists and counselors can provide guidance and strategies for managing emotions, cultivating patience, and maintaining emotional balance. Therapeutic approaches such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and mindfulness-based therapies can help you develop practical skills for achieving patience and emotional distance. Professional support offers valuable tools and insights to complement your efforts and enhance your ability to manage emotions effectively. In conclusion, cultivating patience and emotional distance is essential for maintaining emotional balance and achieving a more thoughtful approach to life's challenges. By practicing mindfulness, reframing your perspective, setting realistic expectations, and developing problem-solving skills, you can enhance your ability to remain patient and composed. Self-compassion, relaxation techniques, supportive relationships, and professional support further contribute to your ability to cultivate patience and emotional distance. Embracing these practices empowers you to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and clarity. In the next chapter, we will explore the concept of emotional boundaries in depth and discuss how setting clear limits can protect your mental health, improve your relationships, and help you maintain emotional balance. Emotional boundaries are essential for ensuring that you stay in control of your emotional responses and prevent burnout in both personal and professional settings. Chapter 14: Practical Strategies for Long-Term Emotional Control. Achieving long-term emotional control requires a commitment to consistent practices and strategies that support emotional balance and resilience. Emotional control is not about suppressing or ignoring feelings but rather about managing them in a way that promotes well-being and effective decision-making. In this chapter, we will explore practical strategies for maintaining long-term emotional control, including developing healthy habits, fostering self-awareness, and implementing proactive techniques for emotional management. Developing healthy habits is foundational for long-term emotional control. Establishing a routine that supports physical and mental health contributes significantly to emotional stability. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep are crucial components of a healthy lifestyle that can enhance emotional resilience. Physical activity releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce stress. A nutritious diet provides the necessary nutrients for optimal brain function and emotional balance. Quality sleep is essential for emotional regulation and cognitive function. By prioritizing these aspects of health, you create a solid foundation for maintaining emotional control. Fostering self-awareness is another essential strategy for long-term emotional control. Self-awareness involves understanding your own emotional triggers, patterns of behavior, and responses. By becoming more aware of these factors, you can identify situations or circumstances that may challenge your emotional control and develop strategies to manage them effectively. Self-awareness can be enhanced through practices such as journaling, self-reflection, and seeking feedback from others. Regular self-assessment helps you recognize changes in your emotional state and allows you to take proactive steps to maintain balance. Implementing mindfulness practices is also crucial for long-term emotional control. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment with acceptance and without judgment. Mindfulness techniques, such as meditation, deep breathing, and body scanning, help you stay grounded and maintain emotional balance. Regular mindfulness practice enables you to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. By incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine, you build resilience and enhance your ability to manage emotions effectively over the long term. Developing emotional regulation skills is another key strategy for long-term emotional control. Emotional regulation involves managing and modulating your emotional responses to maintain balance and stability. Techniques for emotional regulation include deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and cognitive restructuring. Deep breathing helps calm the nervous system and reduce emotional intensity. Progressive muscle relaxation involves tensing and relaxing muscle groups to release physical tension. Cognitive restructuring involves challenging and changing negative thought patterns to promote a more balanced perspective. By practicing these techniques regularly, you enhance your ability to manage your emotions effectively. Setting and maintaining boundaries is also essential for long-term emotional control. Boundaries help protect your emotional well-being by establishing limits on what you are willing to accept from others and what you need to maintain your mental health. Setting clear boundaries in personal and professional relationships helps prevent emotional burnout and reduces stress. Communicate your boundaries assertively and respectfully, and be consistent in enforcing them. By maintaining healthy boundaries, you create a supportive environment that contributes to your overall emotional stability. Building supportive relationships is another important aspect of long-term emotional control. Surrounding yourself with understanding and empathetic individuals provides emotional support and encouragement during challenging times. Supportive relationships offer perspective, validation, and feedback, helping you manage your emotions more effectively. Nurture positive connections by investing time and effort into meaningful relationships and seeking out individuals who contribute positively to your emotional well-being. Strong social support enhances your ability to cope with stress and maintain emotional control. Engaging in self-care practices is also crucial for long-term emotional control. Self-care involves taking deliberate actions to nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Activities such as relaxation exercises, hobbies, and time spent in nature contribute to emotional balance and resilience. Regular self-care helps you recharge and maintain a positive outlook, reducing the likelihood of emotional overwhelm. Make self-care a priority by scheduling time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Developing problem-solving skills is another practical strategy for long-term emotional control. Effective problem-solving involves breaking down challenges into manageable steps, generating potential solutions, and taking deliberate actions. When you approach problems with a structured problem-solving mindset, you reduce the emotional impact of challenges and enhance your ability to maintain control. Problem-solving skills complement emotional control by providing practical tools for addressing difficulties and achieving constructive outcomes. Seeking professional support can also be beneficial for maintaining long-term emotional control. Therapists and counselors offer guidance and strategies for managing emotions and developing resilience. Therapeutic approaches such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, mindfulness-based therapies, and stress management techniques can provide valuable tools for long-term emotional control. Professional support offers personalized insights and strategies to help you navigate emotional challenges and maintain balance. Practicing gratitude and positive thinking is another strategy for supporting long-term emotional control. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude involves focusing on the positive aspects of your life and appreciating what you have. Positive thinking helps shift your perspective away from negativity and fosters a more optimistic outlook. Regularly practicing gratitude through journaling or reflection helps enhance emotional resilience and contributes to overall well-being. In conclusion, maintaining long-term emotional control involves a combination of healthy habits, self-awareness, mindfulness, emotional regulation, and supportive relationships. Setting boundaries, engaging in self-care, developing problem-solving skills, seeking professional support, and practicing gratitude further contribute to emotional stability and resilience. By integrating these strategies into your daily life, you create a foundation for sustained emotional control and overall well-being. Chapter 15: Creating a Balanced and Emotionally Controlled Life. In the quest for emotional control, balance is the cornerstone of a fulfilling and peaceful existence. Creating a balanced life involves managing your emotions with intention and mindfulness, ensuring that they enhance rather than disrupt your daily experiences. This balance is not achieved through denial or suppression of emotions but through understanding and regulating them in a way that maintains harmony within yourself. Emotional control starts with self-awareness. Recognizing your emotional triggers and patterns is the first step toward mastering them. This awareness allows you to anticipate reactions and prepare responses that align with your values and goals. For instance, if you know that stressful situations trigger anxiety, developing coping strategies, such as deep breathing or mindfulness practices, can help you manage your reactions more effectively. Cultivating emotional control also requires developing resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity with a balanced mindset. It involves embracing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than viewing them as insurmountable obstacles. By fostering a resilient mindset, you empower yourself to face life's ups and downs with a steady, composed demeanor. A key aspect of maintaining emotional control is establishing healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect your emotional well-being by defining what is acceptable and unacceptable in your relationships and interactions. Setting clear boundaries prevents others from overstepping and ensures that your needs and feelings are respected. This practice not only preserves your emotional energy but also fosters healthier and more respectful relationships. Another vital component of emotional balance is practicing self-care. Prioritizing activities that rejuvenate and refresh you is essential for maintaining emotional equilibrium. Whether it's engaging in a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking moments of solitude, self-care replenishes your emotional reserves and helps you remain grounded amidst life's challenges. Furthermore, adopting a proactive approach to emotional health can significantly enhance your overall well-being. This includes developing positive habits such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, and healthy nutrition, all of which contribute to emotional stability. By integrating these habits into your daily routine, you create a solid foundation for managing your emotions effectively. Ultimately, creating a balanced and emotionally controlled life is an ongoing journey of self-discovery and growth. It requires a commitment to understanding yourself, practicing resilience, setting boundaries, and prioritizing self-care. By embracing these principles, you pave the way for a life characterized by emotional harmony and personal fulfillment. In mastering the art of emotional control, you not only improve your own quality of life but also positively influence those around you. Your composed demeanor and balanced approach to life serve as a model for others, fostering a ripple effect of emotional stability and resilience in your community. As you continue to refine these skills, remember that emotional control is not about perfection but about progress and persistence. With each step you take toward greater emotional balance, you contribute to a more harmonious and empowered existence. Conclusion: embracing the power within. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of emotional control, it is clear that the journey toward mastering our reactions is both profound and transformative. The power of not reacting has delved into the depths of emotional awareness, resilience, and the conscious choices we make in navigating the complexities of our inner world. Through understanding and applying the principles discussed in these pages, we tap into a profound power that lies within each of us, the power to shape our responses and, consequently, our lives. In a world brimming with external stimuli and pressures, the ability to control our emotions is a superpower that can profoundly impact our personal and professional lives. It allows us to respond to challenges with clarity and composure, fostering relationships built on understanding and respect. By mastering the art of non-reactivity, we gain the freedom to choose our responses, rather than being governed by automatic and often unproductive reactions. The principles outlined in this book are not mere theoretical concepts but practical tools that can be integrated into daily life. From developing self-awareness and resilience to setting healthy boundaries and practicing self-care, each step offers a pathway to greater emotional balance and fulfillment. Embracing these practices equips us to face life's uncertainties with a steadiness that enhances our overall well-being and enriches our interactions with others. It is essential to recognize that the journey toward emotional control is ongoing. Growth in this area requires patience, practice, and self-compassion. Each moment presents an opportunity to apply what we have learned, and with each application, we refine our ability to respond with intention rather than reaction. Remember, the power to control your emotions lies not in perfection but in the persistent effort to align your responses with your values and goals. As you continue on this journey, hold close the understanding that emotional control is a path of self-discovery and empowerment. By harnessing the power of not reacting, you pave the way for a life of greater fulfillment, peace, and authentic connection. The skills you have cultivated through this book will not only serve you in navigating your own emotional landscape but will also inspire those around you to embark on their own journey toward emotional mastery. In conclusion, may the principles of emotional control illuminate your path and empower you to live with intention, balance, and grace. The power to shape your emotional experiences and, by extension, your life is within your grasp. Embrace it fully and step into a future where you respond with clarity, purpose, and unwavering resilience.